Jules by Jude here. I want to show you what I can do with some of my scrap. Now I had done a cane and I had a lot of scrap. So I put it all, bunched it all together, and as you can see, it almost looks like a Skinner blend, but it's not. And be in it for a reason. I could probably keep going and making it into another, Skinner blend that's pretty nice, but I'm not going to because I want to show you some of the things that I do with some of my scrap. And you can do the same with yours. We don't really need to throw very much of it away, if any at all. And I want to show you how that's done. Now in front of me, these are not baked. I will bake them. They're teardrops. They have different patterns. What I will do, just so you know, this is not a finished product. I will show you the finished product as soon as I'm finished with it. Now, this is unbaked. What I will do is bake this for maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, enough to make it adorable enough to put my back on. And this is my back. This is a black piece, and what I've done is I've stamped the back, and that will be what the back is. And once I do get this out for its 10 or 15 minutes baking period, I will adhere this piece to the back, and it will be a very beautiful pendant. Okay? So let's get started. First thing that you need to do, this is rolled out on a number 7. Okay? So the first thing you're going to do is get yourself a design. This did take me a couple of different pieces that I picked out of my scrap pile. And let me reach over here. As you can see, I got a large scrap pile. It's time for me to start doing something with it. It lasts practically forever, and but we don't want it building up forever. So what I did was I rolled this through, and it was too much gray. I had some black in there and I had some white in there, and it made it a little bit of gray. And I also had some purples and pinks, and I added a little bit more white and a little bit more pink out of my scrap pile, and this came out, and I kind of like this a little bit solid here, but I like these designs here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these examples out of your way for now so I can show you how I created them. And this is how I did it. I rolled this out on a number 7 until I came up with a pattern that I choose and liked. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my cutter and I'm going to put it, oh, I like that. Let me see. I'm going to look for some type, this almost looks like a swan to me. Let's see how far down I can get that. Too bad I can't get the whole tail. Alright, it's got a little bit of color in it. I'm going to do another. I probably could have ran this through a little bit more, but I'm alright with this. I'll be happy with this. Now those are my pieces that I'm going to put on my baking sheet with my other pieces. And it's going to go into my toaster oven. I'll pick them up gently. Now the ones that don't come up right, just go whoop and come right on up. And these have been up a couple times, so put this in there. I'm not baking the black back until after I've baked the front. Now, what I want you to do is take your black, or whatever color you choose. I kind of like black. Here's my stamping pattern, okay? Where did I get this? I got this Michaels. Michaels has it. And they actually have it where the polymer clay is sold, okay? And like I said, I used my scrap. So it's a combination between the Fimo and the Sculpey 3, soft, whatever I had in my scrap, I throw it all in there. I only use these cutters that I also got in the polymer clay area, my plexiglass, my tissue blade, and water, okay? Now, what I want to do is to make sure that this clay doesn't get stuck into this pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it with a little bit of water. Not much is needed. Okay, I hope that didn't knock you too far out of. Let's see here. I'm going to lightly press, but I'm going to add a little bit more pressure as we go. I don't want to distort. I rolled this out on my 7, and my 7 is my thickest. If you watch my videos, you know that, but I need to say it for those people who just come in. Now, see, that's not how I like to come out, so I'm going to turn it over. And it's good that you see things that don't always come out great, you know, hey. That's the real world, everybody. So I'm going to put this back down on here, okay? Now I know I have to press harder. So now I'm going to put a little bit more pressure into it. And all of this is dependent on the conditioning of your clay. If your clay is not conditioned, like mine must have been cooling off a little bit, which is possible because I was on the phone right before I did this. So it probably got cooled down, so to speak. It was settled for a little while. So let's see that. It's much better. I'm going to show you. It's black, so you might not see. I might also hit it with a little bit of mica powder. That way it will stand out a little bit better. And remember, this is the back. Now this didn't press in too good, but this did. And I'm only using a part of it anyways before I have to redo it. Re-roll it. There it is. Okay. So this will be my front. This will be my back. This will cook and bake on 200 degrees for 15 minutes approximately. I will take it out. I will show you how to adhere it together and bake it again for another 20 minutes, maybe 30, and then it will be together and it'll be one piece. But before I do that, let me show you how I'm going to. I wouldn't put a hole in this now before I bake it. This is a little tool that I use, okay? And it's going to show me right about where I want to put my hole when I bring it out, so that I have something to go by and I'll drill my hole in later. Okay, I'll put my jump ring in that and we'll be off. But I'm not baking them together. I'm going to separate them very, very gently. Place that back the way it was. And put this right back to where it was. And it's exactly the way it was. I'll see you back here in a little bit. Hi everybody, I'm back. And what we're going to do here is we're going to adhere this. This is how it baked. As you can see, it's very, very, bendable. And that means it's not really cooked all the way through, which is perfect for what I want. Now what I'm going to take here is my other piece that I showed you. This is our back. And what we're going to do is lay it just on that, see? But before we do that, we're going to add a little bit of liquid glue. I call it glue. Liquid clay, I'm sorry. And that clay, you only need a little bit. We're going to rub that along here. Take a little bit off, but we want to make sure that you do have it all over. Now, because the other piece is not necessarily having to be baked, it's not baked, it doesn't necessarily have to be glued, but I want to make sure that it is. I want to make sure that this sticks perfectly the way I would like it to. And one way of being sure that that will be the case, and it's also translucent, so you shouldn't see any white. And then once this is done, you press a little bit I can get that up there a little bit more. Hopefully you saw that very nicely. The one I picked. Okay. Now when I bake it, I'm going to lay it down like so with the other pieces. Add a little bit of the liquid clay. I'm going to spread that. And then I'm going to add my unbaked back that has an impression on it. And then I will drill a hole, which I've already placed a little bit of that pinhole to the front piece. And then we'll talk about glazing in another video. And this should take 20 to 25 more minutes baking. And we'll take a look at it then. Alright everybody, I'm back. Here she is. Nice, beautiful little pendant I've got here. And I'm going to do is put the rest of the hole in here, and then I'm going to close up the jump ring, and I will have a pendant for you ready in no time. So, I don't know if you can see that or not, but these are hand screwdrivers that just screw into the clay, and I've already put my hole in there, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, once I get my jump ring in, let me find my hole. It takes a minute sometimes to get through there. There we go. Perfect. Alright, I'm just going to close that, and voila! There we have it. Now there's a couple things you can do here. You can sand this. It doesn't feel very rough to me. You can apply glaze if you like. That will work as well. Some mica would give it some definition. It is the back, but it's a beautiful back. And this is the front. So there you have it, the finished product. Have fun, guys.